Sorry for the seasickness as we get started here. And I'm going to move this up into that space a little bit. Make sure that we're looking okay. Right. If I make the layout there, I think everybody can see. Welcome to Lo-Fi Live Streaming. We are live from my hotel floor in Liverpool. And this is how I have traveled. I have 2 pieces of chipboard. I have my journaling pens, a pair of scissors, and an adhesive. Then, inside I have the kit. Oh, and the photos I need to get from the nightstand. I printed them out at a kiosk. So that's what I've got. That's everything that I put in the suitcase. And there is going to be a little shadow. I think that's unavoidable in this room. That's the best lighting I can do. All right. So how are we all today? Here are my pictures. And we have got this. Okay, so I have gone to the Boots kiosk again, which is the same thing I did earlier in the month when we did one of these from Cardiff, live from the hotel floor in 2 different British cities this time. So I've got a 4x6, what the kiosk calls a retro print, meaning it's got the gap down here like Polaroid style, and then this photo booth type strip, but it is printed on the same kiosk. So I've done 3 little snapshots of things that feel very just got to Liverpool and this is the thing that you snap, and then a cheesy picture of me completely bundled from head to toe like a penguin because OMG is it cold, with the Beatles. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to scrap today. And we'll see what we've got. Jean has a better name for it. She calls it the floor show. Here we are. Okay, we good to go? Right. So let's see what we have left. Now I have added in 1 background from the Live the Dream box because we don't have any 12x12 backgrounds back. So just if you're showing up and thinking, is that page like half and half? No, that's the shadow on the desk. So this is, it's just where the sun is right now, although it's through a lot of cloud, but there we go. I can't change the lighting around in a hotel room like I can at home. So the floor show gets this kind of lighting. Hello, Georgia and Jean and Rose and Anne. Hope you are all having a lovely day. So we have that as a 12x12 background. Other things we have left. These letter stickers, which go great with that background paper. So we will use those today to inevitably spell out Liverpool and something else. The sticker sheet, which I have done well with, but we have a few things left that we can pick from. We've got, let me do paper scraps last. So 2 different types of foam stickers because we have this one from the January kit. Typewriters, a camera left, and various little pieces. And we have these, which are in the big box to last all year. So I have phrases and things that I could use there, maybe to mix and match. And then the paper. Okay, so what we have left from this Simple Stories collection, we have these 4 pieces, which the back is this pink, so we could use either of those. Then everything else is tiny. This is gonna be fun. Right, so we have some tags here, and all of these tags are journaling tags on the other side. We've got some journaling boxes here, a blue one and a floral one, bird stamp, little scrap of a green that we pulled out during the month, some 3x4s there. Little camera with the black and white floral, a bit more of that green. We've got a pink 3x4. We've got this bit of camera or ledger paper left. Tiny bit of blue grid there. Some navy pieces on that one. A turquoise box there. Then from the die cut pack, let's see, we have all of these from the die cut pack. little pieces and quite a few of these journaling pieces. And the ones that are mostly left over are the ones that are a bit more vintagey. So it looks like I went straight, this is from a wrong kit and I need to put it in the right place. The ones that I went for were the cleaner, brighter white, and then I've left all the ones that are this more vintagey paper. I didn't purposely mean to do that, but that sometimes happens where you figure out what you mostly gravitate toward. So I have all that plus this, and I want to build the whole layout from this tag because I don't want to not use it. Fabulous. So let's see what we could build from there. I'm thinking we might be able to make a shelf design, even though these are taller than we might normally use with a shelf. I think we could just do a shelf that has that kind of scale, to have a sort of central composition, and we put that tag in. So now that you've seen what I have off to the side, I'm going to move all of this over here, and we're going to start here. All right. So hilariously, I should probably still do my speech. Hi, I'm Shamal. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it's my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, even if it's lo-fi from the floor, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising, which has as much enthusiasm as it has from my normal desk. So if you need links to anything that I talk about, or the supplies I use, what I'm going to use next month, any of that, you can find all of that in the description box with the video. If you joined early and the description box is empty, just refresh the page because some of you joined before I got that pasted in. What else? So Nikki, oh, I was confused because Nikki is normally in the same time zone as me, but she said good evening. It's because she is in the Blue Mountains of Australia where it is very, very, very hot. Oh my goodness. And Small and Scrappy is here trying to make an effort to join the lives more often, even though it comes with a rampaging 2-year-old. Wow. Hello, 2-year-old. Rampage as much as you like, or as much as your mummy allows. It's fine. Right. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Now, the interesting bit is I don't have anything other than the pink that would be big enough to make a mat. I do have this amount of the green, which could be a shelf. So let's have a look at how that might work. So when we think of shelf design, we often think of it up high on the page, and then we use small photos because we don't have a lot of space left. But shelves don't have to be up at the top. We can still use shelf design and put it in the middle or even toward the bottom. So what I'm thinking is, quite often if you're not sure where to place something, go right to the middle and then move it a little bit in one direction. So I'm wondering about working like this. How balanced would that feel? I think it needs to come down even a little bit more, but not a lot. And I'm going to turn this around so that my shelf has the one that goes through the dots at the bottom. And I think I'm going to cut this one so it also goes through the dots. Okay, and so we could build like this and then add a bunch of layers behind that. Question is, well, number one, is this exactly the same size? So if I cut that out, I'd get just the tiniest bit of frame. That's okay. I know I won't use this one. And then I could have the pink behind there. So what I'm going to do is just cheat it a little bit. So I'm going to cut on this side because I might want to use some of the other cut aparts sometimes, but still be able to get a good use of the B side. So go to the one that you're not going to use this bit. You're not going to use this A side. I know that I get lots of things with stationery and then I struggle to use them. As much as I love stationery, I find it difficult to use the pictures of stationery in abundance. Sometimes a little bit, but usually not a huge amount. But if I'm not needing these to be exactly 4 by 6 to put them in a pocket, I can cheat a little bit. I can take a tiny bit off these other 3, and it's not going to mean that I can't use that design if I choose to use that design. So I cut it that way, but then we're going to stick it this way. And I don't have boopers for my ink, so we got no inked edges today. Everything is going to just be clean edges. Alright, so I want to cut, I'm actually just going to go ahead and cut that top edge too. So one going there. Place your bets now on how long I can sit crisscross applesauce like this. Kind of funny. I'm glad there's only one camera when we do it this way, because it is not my best posture, I'm going to tell you that much. Alright, so we're going to have this, was it around here? Yeah, be one down from there. Okay. There's our shelf. This to go on here. And some other layer to go behind there. Okay, well, we could do this black polka dot. Let's see what happens if I cut that. So I'm only looking at the outside edge here and not the clipboard, because we'd end up covering up the clipboard. But the black and white dots might work well to bring in the camera element. We could layer these two like that. Bring that in here. This would not quite cover, but we could find other scraps to put in there. I think that's going to work. Okay. Let's look at these other scraps then and decide what could work. And that's just going to be too big. We need to go smaller than 3 by 4. We get a lot of pink in the background, and we've added pink there, so let's have this pink. All right, Nikki's got a great question to get us started. She's on a big old epic trip. How does she not get overwhelmed by all the photos she is taking? Number one, the idea of being overwhelmed is entirely in your head. It is a made-up worry. So stop and take yourself out of this situation for a minute and be like, do people who don't scrapbook ever get worried that they have seen too many wonderful things? Yes. Literally no one ever worries that they have seen too many wonderful things. Yeah. And so that is a great place to start. Then you start to say, okay, I want to document this because I am a scrapbooker and I do have this concern. But give yourself one time to just let it go and live the moment. Live first, scrapbook second, right? So we're not going to get overly stressed that we're taking so many photos at the moment. Yeah, don't worry about it. You have permission to make this into as many pages and albums as you want in any style and size that you want. Any pressure that you feel that it needs to be a certain way, again, is entirely made up. So let that sink into your process for a while. Then what I like to do is segment and start reviewing. So when like when I came back from the big backpacking trip, I had 4 months in how many gazillion countries? Like 18 countries? I can't quite remember. Of stuff that I had photographed. It was a lot of pictures, obviously. Or if I do a Disney trip, I do it by the day. So you don't have to sit and segment by one particular metric. You just need to figure out what works for you, and don't try to tackle the entire photo library of the adventure in one go. This is not one sitting. Okay? So go section by section then, and make yourself a set of folders where you can put like the date or the name of the town or whatever it is that you're kind of breaking things down into. And as you go through the pictures, you do a first pass where you select everything that is in you're like, I'm considering this. So you're just basically taking out the nose, but I don't want to delete anything. So instead of being like, I'll go through and delete the ones I don't want, I would delete the ones that are like absolute rubbish, but I do that as I go. But at this point, I wouldn't be deleting anything from my library. I would be making a folder where I then highlight everything that is a maybe I'm going to scrapbook. Maybe I'm going to print this and scrapbook it. So I put all of those in a folder. Then I look at that folder once I'm done and go, is that too many? If you have 600 photos from 24 hours, yes, it's too many. You're not going to get that done. And you'll burn out on it before you do get it done. So then you just keep whittling down, and it's not a one sitting thing. You keep revisiting until you get to the heart of it, and then you'll find you get to a point where you go, I think I can do this. And you'll print all those, and in reality, you probably won't scrap everything that you printed, but that's okay. You'll get a lot done, and it's fine. Yeah. I love Tasmania. That is in my backpacking adventure, and we started in Hobart, and then we did some more wildernessy stuff. We went out hiking, and is it hourglass? Wine glass? Hourglass? No. What is it called? It's something about a glass. We hiked to there, and it was beautiful. And there was like one boat up there where people were hanging out. Wineglass Bay, yes. So we did a hike to Wineglass Bay. It was absolutely beautiful. And we did another hike that was less mountainous. It was more like hiking fields. And I'd have to look at a map and my old notes to figure out where that was. But we had friends who lived in Hobart, who it was a garden girl family from Two Peas in a Bucket days, and really, really enjoyed spending time with them and being shown around, and it was just lovely. I have very happy memories of Tasmania, so I wish you lots of happiness there while you are out adventuring. Right, let's get back to this page. What else can we layer in here? Right. So we have blue stars in this background. So I kind of want to bring in the blue, even though I've got the black and white. Oh, but this blue, I want this blue. Are these all going to go together? Yes, that's fine. Okay, so let's bring in these two scraps of blue somewhere. And the title can go underneath the shelf. What are we going to call this? Talk to me about words I could use for Liverpool. I mean, do I just do Welcome to Liverpool? Or what? What would you do? Okay, I'm going to commit to the pink box and the black box, and then we're going to start layering these pieces because I just need a big area of embellishment over here on the right. Where is it? There. We're gonna go there. be an outline. We'll do blue here. And that can go there, and then we have no evidence of the clipboard that I've covered up. I didn't bring my whole bunch, so I do not. Now we could do this direction. Oh, I didn't think I was going to like this direction, but I do. Okay. The other thing I don't have is enamel dots. What? So I was like, oh, I won't worry about the hole because I will put an enamel dot over it. No, I won't. I didn't bring any. So we'll either cover it up with something from the foam stickers, or I will punch a hole in it when I get home. That'll be all right. Okay. Now, Sophia, what is your art class today that takes lots of prep? Are we still on airships, or are we on to something else? Okay. Right. And then we need an element that we can write on. We've got some lines here. I'm wondering if we could extend that. This is the same color as that dot, so that is an option. So because I've got a tag here, I'd rather this be a box than another tag. Oh, Sophia's art class today is making gunk droids that look like wheelie dustbins in Star Wars. Amazing. Okay, so I think we can put that one in here and have a bit more writing room. She says, and then she just covers up the existing writing room. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Do we do title? Should we do landed in Liverpool? I mean, I came on a train. Do you do landed only if you came by plane? Make that blue one here instead of the pink. I like this idea. So Sophia's son asked if there was a model for this particular thing, like a kit you could buy, and she didn't find one, but then she said, wait, but these are the right sizes of cardboard. And having on the Milton Keynes tour stop, when we went to the wacky sci-fi memorabilia collection, so many models from Star Wars that are like what you actually saw in the kind of, how do I describe them? You know, the kind of film work that I don't think it's done so much anymore because we have so much computer generation. But before we had a lot of computer generation in film, a lot of the set, if it was supposed to be something that was giant and epic and the camera was going to like swoop around, it would actually be a tiny scale model. So they had a whole bunch of those from the original trilogy of Star Wars movies. And it was it was like somebody had dumped out a whole bunch of boxes of Airfix model parts with no instructions, and they're not all from the same thing. It was like free building with Lego, except with Airfix. So I think there's something to it, to saying, oh, I recognize cardboard pieces that look like something in Star Wars, I think you're probably onto something, because the original, it was all that kind of creation. It was like imagining like almost like Scrap Heap Challenge, but to build a sci-fi movie set. Um, so yeah, yes. Adam Savage videos about different things he built at ILM are very, very cool. Yeah. I love how he just seems to be one of those people who never runs out of stories. He's led a very cool life. Right. Title suggestions are Lounging in Liverpool and Scouse Stop. I do quite like that idea of Scouse Stop. And then we'll see where else we could I can just make sure, like I've got a label up here so I can make sure that Liverpool is there. Should I ever forget what Scouse means? That's fine. Okay, so what letters do we think? Let's try the tall ones for stop. So it is a crazy week here. So this is the last stop on the UK tour. And then everything gets packed up in containers and sent for the international leg of the tour. It takes a little time for all the stuff to do that international travel, so the cast get a break, which is nice. And also apologies for my wrist. Know where your oven shelf is, yeah? Know where your oven shelf is. Right. Okay. So, yeah, but right now, I'm trying to get this aligned with that star is kind of confusing. So normally this show runs Tuesday to Sunday. But because it's the last week and they need to hit the road at a certain time, it runs Tuesday to Saturday. So one short, but still the same number of shows. So there's more matinees packed in. Hello, Allie. So yeah, my boy was tired last night after the show. Oh, his little face. And also, it's super cold here. And I messaged my friends when I got here. You made it with the yellow submarine underneath is right when you walk to the train station. So I sent that picture and said, I'm here, but I'm definitely a soft southerner because it is too cold. And one of my friends had said, just imagine us, we live further north, it's colder than this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I don't want to imagine. No, thank you. Hard pass. No, I'll leave that to you. No, not for me. And then one of those friends was coming to the show last night. She got off the train and then updated the chat to say, actually, she's not making it up. It's really, really cold right now. So I have these photos of me standing next to assorted different tourist spots. I went and sat with Eleanor Rigby, which was lovely. But I'm like in the longest, warmest coat with a giant sweater and scarf underneath it to try and keep warm, and I was still cold with all these extra bundles. So I look so silly in all of the pictures, but that's real life, isn't it? And I do have, the habit of, I can brave it for a few minutes and I'll just take my coat off and look cuter in the photo, but no, we're past that. When it says, feels like 6 below, no, I'm not taking my coat off, Eleanor Rigby. I'm sitting next to you all bundled up. Yeah. Right, how are we doing for time? Lovely. The adhesive Avenger's gone out for a walk so that he doesn't have to listen to me, because it's kind of cringe to listen to somebody just sit on the floor and scrapbook. It's not the highlight of his day. I can't imagine why. Doesn't everyone want to hear their wife talk nonstop for like an hour and a half? about something that they're not particularly interested in. I don't know why he doesn't love it. Okay, so we have on here some hearts we can use, and I've got a little asterisk here that I might, do I like it with that? I want a full stop at the end. I'm unsure about the asterisk. But I want a full stop here. Oh, some nice suggestions from Sophia for family-friendly, interesting channels about people who do scenic building, cool stuff, sort of thing. WB messaged me this morning, really ridiculously excited about something because they'll clear out the dressing room at the end of the week, and so kids they alternate, so sometimes they're backstage, sometimes they're on stage, right? So they obviously have different things that they do in the dressing room when they're backstage, just waiting in case of emergency that they're needed. So he builds a lot of Lego, and he sent me this message today, so cute, over the top, excited that they've told me I can take my Lego build home and keep it. Oh, bless your cotton socks. As if he doesn't have Lego at home, but he's been working on something while he's been here. And it's like, I get to keep my build. I don't have to take it apart. Oh, precious. Okay. Where else are we going? Let's go to foam stickers first. Did I pick them up and over here? I did. Okay. What about that layered here? Now, so this is going to be the point at which, to make this layout work, we just got to embrace more. Because right now, it's got a place to write, it's got a title, it's got 4 photos. It has the stuff that it actually needs. I just realized some of you are probably being driven mad that I never took the branding strip off. So let's do that. Georgia needs to use more of her Live the Dream box. She loves this paper. The weird bit about Live the Dream only having 12 paper SKUs instead of 24 is that there's so many where I'm like, but I like both sides. I'm glad I do, because surely I can come up with 24 designs that I like both. I should have plenty of pages that I actually like and want to use. But it's hard for me to be like, but I really love this one, and so I want to use this all the time. But actually, this is a really usable paper because you can build almost anything on top of it. So there we go. Maybe there'll be a lot of half and half pages to come with with this collection. Okay, so we need to add more and more and more to make this all work. So let's just find pieces and figure out where they can go, and probably do that for 10 minutes and be done. Hello, Jody. So we've got a pink tag that could, well, actually we could put it under here. There we are. Pink there. Do you have another piece of the blue? So we could put that up at the top. I do like these pieces, but I wonder if mixing the vintage with the nice bright white is too much. Also, there's a lot of polka dots going on here. We can add in one of these to bring the green from the top to, or from the bottom to the top. So let's pop that up here. What's on the flat stickers? Have a floral tab. Layer these 2 tags. So we have one behind and one in front. And then bit of the olive here. So now the olive green is on the diagonal. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. What else we got? That in there. That one under there. I'm taking a look back for any tiny pieces on this one. So we've got paper clips and binder clips. We've got this little arrow that I think might be cute. Let me look at why am I not? It's because I've got a different perspective, so it's not looking quite how I imagine. Difference that this makes. So I could put it here where it's pointing toward the letters, or I can bring it in and overlap it with the letters, and then it's a lot more connected because I've already got a margin gap here, and then I'm following that margin gap here. But I can bring this all together. This is quite nestled for two alphas that are the same color. I don't really want to overlap on top. I need a break so that you can read it, but I haven't put a whole word space in there, if that makes sense. Yay! April is off to Disney World today. Kelly got all of 2025 into two 12 by 12 albums. Amazing. Georgia has more 2025 stories, but did not make them all fit in the album. Georgia's saying, I might have to just throw some in the bin. Well, I think I may have a 5-album 2025. I'm not quite sure. I definitely have quarters that are not gonna fit. So we're gonna see. But 2026, so doing these little UK tour stops, but then I have the international tour stops. And I'm performing abroad, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, I don't know. It's a big year. It's a big year. Let's see what happens. Okay. We need to look at some confetti elements. What kind of confetti can we do? And so we have hearts. Oh, and we have 3 stars. And we have stars here. So let's do that. Okay, so we have 2 mediums. Yeah, this one is the teensiest bit smaller, but it's almost identical. So if I want to go across here, I probably want the mediums at the 2 ends. Now, you could put it above if you don't want it on top of the photo, but I have no story value in that bit of cloudy corner. That's fine. Let's put the end of the diagonal in and then find the middle of it. So we can go, I think we're gonna go here and build something there. So I don't want to stick that all the way down because it needs some more layering with it, but I think that's where we're gonna go. Pieces have we got that we can put in that space? We've got flat stickers. Okay, put a butterfly in there. Random butterfly. cleaned my room by the time I came back from breakfast that they're doing next doors. I can just hear them bashing the Hoover into all the furniture. Okay, so we've got something there. I was going to use this one, but I have fun times. I don't need to put so fun right next to it. That's been much for me. Okay, so that gives it a little bit of confetti around there. What about our little arrows here? So I have, how many arrows left? 2 on that side, 1 more, no, 2 more over here. So let's do, this little heart says all you need is love, which is nice down on the river. I want to point to the yellow submarine because I think it's quite hard to see in the photo. I didn't realize the yellow submarine sculpture is at the airport, so I don't think I'm going to see the sculpture one. Enjoy your droid, Sophia. Bye bye. Okay, so that's 1, 2. They're both foam. I'd rather have one flat, but beggars can't be choosers. Kind of like this. Fun times, big smiles. That looks better to me. Okay. Journaling to go in there, and I think when I get home, I shall punch a hole here. I will probably add some enamel dots along this line, and then I'll add mist along that line too. And that's everything. Allie, I didn't change anything with sound, so I think, yeah, we're all there. I'm gonna pick it up so you can have a little closer to the camera look in theory. Oh, that's about as close as I can go. Okay, there we are. So if you do want to screen grab a finished version, considering that's just made with all the leftovers, and we have really, like, this is the biggest piece of paper I have left in the kit. That's it. Yeah. So I think we've done all right. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed it and you want to give it a thumbs up, that'd be super duper awesome. I do hope that the 2 little live from the hotel room floor, the floor shows this month, have helped you realize that you don't need to be super fancy all the time. You don't need every supply in the world. You can still do creative things without lots of extras. And that's what something like Best of Both Worlds, or creating your own page kits, or subscribing to a kit company, anything like that, it can really help you, because you don't need much else. So this is all the other things I packed: scissors, adhesive, and my journaling pens. And do I really need to bring all of those? No, I could just bring one, but it's easy enough for me to just grab that set. All right, now next live stream is Monday at 1:30. Class videos that are due for this week, the ones that I talked about on Monday. So I think I will manage to get home in time on Sunday night, that they're gonna go up Sunday night. But it is down to how long it takes to get home. So they are on their way. But I have to get there. Any other questions before we go? I also updated the featured post on Facebook, but I think I'm missing one. So I will go, I updated it with what we made on Monday, but I think I'm missing last Friday. So I'm gonna go through my camera roll in a minute and see if I have last Friday's on my camera roll, or if I need to photograph it when I get home. Cool, cool. Thank you so much for joining me for the Hotel Floor Show. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you again Monday, 1:30 p.m. UK time, when I'll be back at my desk and we'll be cracking open the February kit. And that means the March supplies will be live on the shopping list. Have a great one. Thank you. Bye!